If this episode spoke to your soul, I invite you to subscribe and stay connected to this sacred space. Each week, I share transmissions to awaken your presence, align with your highest self, and remember the beauty of now. Subscribe to Journey with Me and let your listening become a living ritual. Welcome to Embody, a space to embody your true color, love. I'm Pratima Prashajit. On this podcast, we like to take ancient wisdom and apply it in our modern lives, adding more depth and meaning and appreciation for what is in this present moment. With that being said, the topic of awareness and presence has been an area, a field of which I've been experiencing in my life, personally and professionally, for the past years. And the more I apply it, the more I experience it, the more I'm seeing these synchronicities and the signs and the meaning behind it and the truth and the beauty of it all. The more it expands in my life, these expansion can feel like opportunities. They can feel like sacred encounters and possibilities, in whether it's in relationships, in wealth and finances, in your health, in friendship and relationships in particularly. I want to emphasize the role, the essence of presence in, especially in our relationships, any relationship with yourself, relationship with your career, relationship with the present moment itself. This life really, which is the present moment, here and now. That really is what life is. We're only given this moment right here, right now. Not the past, not the future. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist, only now. Now, tomorrow it will become yesterday. Yesterday will become the past. Tomorrow becomes the future. So there's only now. And the way we treat this moment and the present right now, the way we build our relationship with this present moment, right here, right now. You sitting here, or you're walking, or you're standing and listening to my voice. This is the present moment, right now. When you think about it, in this moment, there is so much stillness and aliveness. Because we're not in the past, we're not in the traumas and the fear of the past, or neither are we in the anxiety and uncertainty of the future, but we are here in wholeness and stillness in the now, in the present moment. And that's all we have. And this is the meaning of life. Life, it's timeless, it's eternal. When we build around this wisdom, this is ancient wisdom passed on to us. This is nothing new. I haven't thought about this yesterday or last night. This is teachings that have been passed on from us through generations in different symbols and forms, in different scriptures and languages, in myth, in stories, in symbols, in figurative representation. And this is one aspect that I love to explore. I like to take these stories of ancient wisdom, and most of these stories, they're told in symbols, in dance, in art, in drama. In particularly, I like to go back with the story of Radha and Krishna. I don't know if you know, but it's an ancient story which is oftenly misunderstood. Of course, it's because of the language that it has been told. Our ancient teachers, they took life principles and they personify them in characters and archetypes. So, and this is beautifully represented in the story of Radha and Krishna. The story goes that there were these two lovebirds. You know, they always swinging in the, in the swing in the gardens, and they're always singing and dancing by the lakes and playing with their friends on the gardens and so on. And when you look at the images in the storybooks or in the videos, they're always beautifully decorated. Radha, she's always adorned in flowers in her hair, and Krishna's always playing music, and he's just this blue-skinned dude that just wrapped with a lower cloth around him like a dhoti, and he's beautifully adorned with these peacock feathers, so they look like beings beyond. And they're always singing and dancing. He's always playing his flute, and she's dancing to it. You know, she's always admiring him, and she always seemed in awe of the moment, in awe and wonder of the moment, whether she's walking in the garden, playing with her friends, whether she's doing mundane activities like cooking, etc. She's always happy. But the essence of the story, with the lesson behind these stories and symbols, is Radha represents the present moment, and Krishna is really awareness itself, the vastness of awareness. And when we anchor ourselves in being here, being right now, we allow that essence of beauty, which is really presence, that energetic aliveness, to evolve, to activate and blossom in life. And that's that feeling that we get in awe and bliss and peace and love. That resonance that you feel when you're just sitting and staring at a tree, or staring at someone's face, or flowers, or art, or two birds flying in the sky. For most of the time, I didn't really understand what it meant to be present in the moment. What does it really mean? What does present feels like, looks like, smells like, tastes like? I didn't understand what it was, because most of the time I'm living in the past and in the future. So you cannot forgo the essence and the meaning of him being in the present moment. But as I keep reading and going back to the scriptures and listening to the retreats and the lectures of these great spiritual bodies, and coming from your own intuition, you start to see the meaning of it. And all it really is that feeling that you get when you see the sunset, that feeling of aliveness that triggers that awe, wonder, and beauty that anchors you and grounds you in this moment. And for that pause between you and what you're seeing, this beautiful sunset, it's pure resonance, because your inner beauty is now aligned with what you're seeing in front of you. So it's an inner beauty reflecting on outer beauty. And that feels whole, like wholeness. It feels like fulfillment and bliss. And that's exactly what presence is. Presence is synonymous with beauty, and that is why in these ancient scriptures, when they used these archetypes and symbols to tell the story of life principles like presence or fear, presence or success or love, it's always used as the image of a beautiful girl with flowers in her hair, and she's dancing in the garden. That is what present feels like. So when you're embodying that present moment, when you're embodying presence, you're embodying your inner beauty, that divinity of beauty and peace and longing and devotion, because you're sitting there and you're devoting your moment that you have in the now, adoring the beauty of the sunset. That is what presence is. And really, that is the essence of who you are. Your innate nature, your beauty, your devotion, your that longing, your presence itself. From the most minute essence of who we are presence, awareness. And this is why, we've that truth is what really birthed the concept of this podcast, embody your true color. But for most of our times, we don't embody our true color, which is really our presence, our awareness, love, beauty, longing, devotion. For most of the times, we are not living our life as in presence, being here, being now. We don't. For most of our time, we live in the past. We're dwelling with self-sabotaging patterns and traumas and fear and self-doubt. Either that, or we're living in the future in uncertainty and doubt and scarcity and fear. That tells you most of our life we're really embodying fear and doubt and scarcity. And here's where, the play, or which they call the Leela of life, really kind of keeps us in a circle, in a loop, repeating the same patterns over and over again, because we forgo our essence, which is being present in the now, enjoying the bliss and radiating our innate nature, which is really our purpose in life, is to radiate our essence into life itself, to feed this life, your space around you, with the fertilizer really of your love and your adoration and your presence and acceptance of what is. Pure awareness. But we don't. What we do, we radiate that lack and that fear and that scarcity and the trauma of embodying the past and the future. So our life is governed by fear and scarcity instead of governed by our innate essence, joy and bliss and presence. When you look at ancient wisdom in all of its formats, in all of its language and traditions, they all point to the same essence, remembering the light within, remembering who you are. And then we don't understand the wisdom, so we go looking for this light. Who is this light? Where is this light? I need to find this light. The light is you, your presence, radiating it, allowing it to flow through you and radiating outwards and affecting, blossoming and healing, brightening everyone and everything around you. It is so simple, but we misinterpret stillness and presence as something as wasting time. But this goes back to the knowledge and definition of what life is. Present moment. Here, it's timeless, it's eternal. Time really is when you're going back to the past and future, back and forth, looping around back and forth. That is how we create time. But here, now in the presence, you're timeless, you're eternal. There's just this experience of vastness. The lesson learned really is, all of the teaching, the ancient teachings in the scriptures, the root of dealing with all of life's sufferings is, how can you make the present moment your friend, really? How can you fall in love with the present moment? Accept the abundance and beauty of this present moment. And when we talk about accepting the beauty and abundance of what is in the present moment, it would be hard for most of us because most of our lives we've been embodying the fear of the past and the anxiety of the future. And that's all we see. What we see really is who we are. But for someone who always lives in acceptance of what is, regardless of what's happening, you're grateful for this moment. They're embodying that abundance of presence and beauty, and that's all they see. The question really is, how can you make the present moment your friend? And I like to look back at these art and paintings of Radha and Krishna. That is what that image really symbolizes. Making the present moment your friend, fall in love with the present moment, being happy doing mundane activities, whether you're doing dishes, whether you have to wake up to go to work, whether you have to wake up middle of the night to, I don't know, look after your kids, whether you're working, taking care of yourself. How do you treat the moment? Are you happy to do what you're doing? Can you, even if you don't like what you're doing, can you be happy and grateful for that moment? And when we start to embody the essence of being, the essence of knowing that this moment right here and right now is all there is, you start to appreciate everything for what it is. And when we start to anchor in the frequencies of appreciation and acceptance and enthusiasm and joy, finding joy in everything that you do, life itself starts to mirror that joy and that abundance. And that's really what manifestation is. So when you start to, govern your life based on acceptance and truth, life itself becomes your beloved. Because you're falling in love with being here, appreciating now, not returning and sabotaging about the past or future, but being here and being now. You accept life as it is, and life turns around and being your beloved, and that's what the story of Radha and Krishna symbolizes. Radha was enjoying life in the present moment, whether it's gardening, simple things, plucking flowers and doing dishes and sweeping the yard. She was romancing life, and life itself, which is awareness, mirrored her aliveness and her beauty, and that's what Krishna symbolizes. He mirrors her essence of who she is, which is presence. It is presence that is activating that sense, in its sense of beauty and love and joy. And imagine when we start to embody our truth, which is presence, embodied presence, we go around our lives like being altars to people around us. People start to feel, healed in your presence. Workplace, your family, your children, your neighbors. And this tells you how much, when we talk about what sometimes people say, you have to make an offering so life can be blessed with virtues and all that. Really what it means is being present. Your presence alone is your offering to life. Life becomes your altar. So in the story, Krishna, he's the altar of life, which is awareness. And Radha, she's the presence. She becomes the offering. Her offering is enjoying the present moment, embodying love and devotion and longing. You're longing to enjoy this beauty of life, this moment right here, right now. When we try to remember our truth, really, the essence of who we are, we start to find that, the changes which is internal. And it's that shift in being who we are, from chasing what we're not, we start to find subtle changes in our life, personal life, in your relationships. And then we start to apply that in any type of relationship, at workplace, in family, friendship, partners, your marriage. It becomes so healing and fulfilling, and that essence of what you're radiating, your awareness, it starts to kind of let you kind of lend it toward the people in you, and they feel that vibration. They want to know, you changed. You feel different. I like it. And when you look at it that way, you realize that, people in your relationships, the people who you spend most of your life around, they're actually there to awaken you, not to complete you. They're mirrors for who we are. And that's what, Krishna was mirroring in Radha. Krishna is the mirror of her essence, of what she was embodying in her everyday moments. The longing for life, the peace and beauty of being alive and enjoying everything as is. For many times, we forget the meaning of it all, and we become attached to the people and the things in our lives, mistaking it for who we are. But really, those things and those people, they're mirroring our essence, what we were offering to life itself. We were offering love, we were offering generosity and kindness and time, and that's what they were mirroring to us. And there are times when life continued to evolve, and those people in the situation change, aligning with our inner evolvement. Things keep moving, change is constant, change is growth. And what happens is we hold on to those people and things thinking that it's mine. Come here, you're not going anywhere, you're mine. But they were there to serve you at your level of evolvement. And as you keep growing, those people and situations, they no longer aligned at your inner growth. You become an expansive. So life would mirror your expansion, and that's when you're meant with new people and new situations. And the lesson learned here is, if you're going through any situations in your relationship, any type of relationship really, those people in your life, they're not here to complete you, they're here to awaken you. When we take that wisdom, and we let it fertilize our lives, we start to accept and appreciate every moment as it is, who we're with, situations and circumstances around us. We appreciate it and we enjoy that moment, because change is constant. As we keep growing, we see that things around us change too. And this is an opportunity to release and let go of the self-blame and the self-sabotage. Also to integrate compassion, starting with yourself and for others around you, because you understand the natural rhythm and flow of life. The patterns change as we continue to grow and evolve. And at every stage of growth, whether growth can be ups and downs, you appreciate it and you allow it to be and let it go and take it, shapes and other forms. I like to leave with you, a practice that you can apply in helping you to be more present in life. From previously I said, we are what we see. And for most of us, we may need some time to retrain in the body of how we perceive things around us. And since most of us live in past and future, we're kind of governed by scarcity and lack. So we will always see the bad in everything, and we never appreciate the good of what is. So what I like to do, every day as I go through my day, I kind of anchor things in categories of what I notice. I call them, the noticing signs, or the art of noticing. So I would notice things that embodies beauty, flowers, whatever is someone's face, whatever is a beautiful building or a car. And I would instantly anchor that moment with an affirmation. I would say something like, more beauty blooms for me. Or if I see a pattern of numbers keep appearing, like these synchronicities, whether it's a street sign or number plate or a number on a billboard, I would anchor that moment and I would say, bless it with an affirmation. I see the pattern, I'm in flow. If I'm in the kitchen and I see basket overflowing with fruits and there's so much food in the fridge, and if I'm at a supermarket seeing abundant of foods and nature, I would anchor that moment and bless it with an affirmation, and I say, abundance is my nature. If I encountered an opportunity or a random encounter or a random message on my WhatsApp with someone sending me, a person's contact, or I was trying to meet, I would anchor that moment and bless it with an affirmation. Everything moves in divine order for me. So when we start to apply these, when we start to notice beauty and abundance and synchronicities and patterns, we kind of create resonance with that beauty and abundance. And that resonance, it anchors us in the present moment. So that presence now rewrites our old patterns of scarcity and lack and doubt and self-sabotage. And you can, without even noticing it, you would have rewritten your entire life's trajectory that is based on beauty, abundance, and all you ever did is start appreciating every moment as is and being embodied in your essence, which is presence. If this episodes strike a truth in you, trust it. Remember, you're not only finding your voice, you're becoming it. Until next time, embody your true color. If this space has nourished you, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a review or share this episode with someone who's ready to receive. Your presence here is part of the blessing. Thank you for walking this path with me.